Magic 96, your one-stop shop for all things movies. From reviews, unboxings, and collections, I'm here to celebrate the magic of cinema. Now, let's roll the film. So today I wanted to talk about why movie theaters suck and about why I rarely go to them anymore. All right, let's get into the details. All right, so first off, we're going to be talking about ticket prices. And of course, this is all subjective to where I live in New Jersey, where it's very expensive. It may be different in different states, in different countries. Yeah, so ticket prices, I used Minecraft as an example because it's the popular movie of this week. And for this theater, it was okay. So regular ticket was $18.86. Real 3D was $23.12. IMAX was $25.25, and Dolby was $25.78. So if you don't know, what's crazy about that is the minimum wage in New Jersey is $15.49 per hour. So one regular ticket, no food, no anything else, is more expensive than an hour of work for minimum wage, which obviously a lot of people have to deal with nowadays. And kids, I feel bad for kids where it's just so expensive to go see a movie for someone who's if you're in high school and you don't have many other places to go, like the movie theater was a place that we would always, go and spend our time. And yeah, I mean, you have to, for one ticket, you got to work an hour, and it's just or over an hour, and it's just crazy. But all the different options too. Again, regular tickets fine, but then you usually want to see it in IMAX. For me, the 3D gives me a headache, and it doesn't pop off the screen as much that I would like, and I get a headache wearing I wear glasses and contacts, but I get a headache wearing the glasses that they give to you. And then Dolby is, for an extra, what is that, $6, $7, $8, just to have it clearer. It's not worth it for me. So yeah, that's for the ticket prices. Number two is going to be concession prices. So a regular popcorn, which most people will get when they go to the theater, is $9.79. Large popcorn is $10.79. Large popcorn and two drinks, which is probably the main thing you're going to get, right? If you go with a girlfriend, a significant other, your friend, whatever it is, you want to share that large popcorn and two drinks, is $26.37. A bottled water, this one gets me the most. A bottled water is $5.79, which is highway robbery, as we say. But a regular drink is $7.29. A large drink is $7.79. An icy is $7.99. And I want to talk about that for a minute. I understand that it's a pain to do regular, like small, medium, and large. You have to carry more cups and all those things. But I feel like back in the day, however long ago, 10 years ago or something, that the regular drink was like $2 cheaper or something. I don't know. Maybe that's just a weird memory or something that I have that's not true. But yeah, I mean, to be from 7.29 to 7.79, what, 50 cents more expensive? I mean, you might as well get the large drink. But for these theaters, you fill it outside of the concession. So you get the small drink and you run back and fill it, 5 different times. But and then icy 7.99, which is my favorite. I used to always get ices when we would go see the movies, whether it was like a Coke icy or the blueberry one. The blue raspberry was my favorite. But and then maybe you skip dinner. You want to get food. Now all the food is frozen, obviously, but you've got chicken tenders, sliders, impossible nuggets, flatbread pizza, which is about as skinny as cardboard, curly fries, mozzarella sticks, pretzel bites, hot dog, nachos. I wanted to point out the price of nachos. Nachos is $8.29. It's literally just it's chips and plastic cheese. I don't even know what to say about that. And candy is $6.29, which we all do the whole buy the candy from somewhere else, Dollar Tree or something, Target, Walmart, and then bring it into the theater. But yeah, so I mean, the only frozen food I would get, would be like chicken tenders or curly fries. The mozzarella sticks aren't bad, but I don't know. To me, it's kind of like weird to eat during a movie. Anything you have to like, even with nachos, anything you have to like dunk. It's very easy that you could spill it on your shirt because you're eating in the dark, and then obviously it's hard to eat a pizza, and again, it's very 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 thin. I don't really eat impossible food, so impossible nuggets and pretzel bites are good. Um, but yeah, it's hard to dunk, and those are easily you could just drop them. But yeah, so that's for the concession prices. All right, so let's go to audience etiquette. So I wanted to make this video because I was seeing all the speaking of Minecraft, I was seeing all the issues that theaters were having with the Minecraft showing, and I am not. I never played the game. I'm not trying to say anything badly, but yeah. So there have been audiences that have been like throwing popcorn and standing up and cheering and just doing things that you have to be conscious that there's obviously other people around you. Again, I don't want to bash on the younger generation. I already feel like I'm the old guy, yelling at kids to get off his lawn. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy to do all that. There were kids getting thrown out, and I mean, this isn't the first time that it's happened. I remember, I think during the Minions movie, there were they were like throwing bananas at the screen or something like that. And yeah, I mean, it's just of course that's the outlier. That's not every movie and stuff like that. But it obviously would draw attention away from if you're just father and son or whoever who wants to go see the movie. And you'd be like, yeah, no, I don't want to go to the theater to see that because it's too loud and crazy. Other little things which has always been prevalent, which is like someone eating loudly or talking or reacting to the movie. Yeah, I mean, this is, I feel like every time I go to a movie, there's someone, chewing loudly or slurping they've got their soda and, they're drinking it and there's nothing left to it, but they still keep drinking it. And so that would be the eating loudly, which it like gets under my skin. Everything bothers me. I'm like, I don't know. Talking like not talking on your phone or anything. I really don't think I've had that experience, but people talking to each other during the movie, like whether it's an old couple or something, like who's that, how do I remember her from this movie, this that. And or reacting to the movie. So the killer's revealed, or I don't know, there's just this big moment at the end, and then you feel like this sense of relief. You're like, oh, we did it, blah blah blah. And then um, I don't know, someone either makes like a comment to try to be funny, or it's just like, oh, I knew they were the killer the whole time, or something like that. I remember during, I think it was Scream 5, somebody said that, like, oh, I knew it was the killer the whole time. I'm like, okay, like, and I'll never forget that, unfortunately. But yeah, so that would be audience etiquette. Next would be people on their phones, and unfortunately, we have just reached a codependence to our phones, and people can't turn it off. And of course there's reasons, if they have to, someone has to get in contact with them. But yeah, it's just, it's so strange how you would pay, again, why would you pay 19 bucks to see a movie, and then you're on your phone for half of the movie or something like that. Again, I get respond to a quick text message and you don't want to walk out of the theater. But or they leave the I don't know what it's called when you put the it's not on silent, so when you text you can hear all the beeps or whatever you want, or the clicks. um so yeah, people on their phones, that's probably my biggest, like, that drives me crazy. Which is again, it could be it's not just the younger generation, it's younger people, older people. So yeah, people on their phones definitely is a reason to not go to the movie theater, because if you're at home, you don't have to deal with people on their phones. You don't have to deal with audience etiquette. You don't have to deal with the concession prices. You can get your get a whole box of popcorn for way cheaper than 10.79. And obviously it's, the prices for streaming is, you buy 1 month subscription to Netflix is way cheaper than $25 for one single Dolby movie. But continuing on with the list is maintenance and dirtiness. So this isn't completely the movie theater's fault. I mean, sometimes it's kids are or people working there, however old they are, they have to do their job, and then they do. I definitely commend them. They you know to clean the bathrooms and the sticky floors and the butter on the popcorn and all machines and all that stuff. So I definitely commend, it's a hard job, to work at the movie theater. So I commend the kids that are working there, and the things that are out of their control is like the broken seats, a bulb out on the screen, um, things that are more of a corporate issue. And unfortunately, that's the problem with these with the big chain theaters. Um, they don't really get the financial support from corporate, and that's why I wish so bad that I had a small theater, even if it just had like 5 theaters that would just play, um, that would play the new movies. But I think since the pandemic, that has completely closed, and unfortunately, I only have one chain near me. There's like 3 theaters that are within like 30 minutes or so, and then there's another one that's a little bit further, like 45 minutes, that I've actually never even gone to. It's very far. Um, so yeah, so that would be the maintenance and dirtiness. Of course, if there's theaters that have those issues, the sticky floors, the gross bathrooms, all that stuff, that's sometimes they um, don't tend to things that they should be tending to. But yeah, so next is ads. I mean, I know I know we all deal with this. It's 30 minutes after the start time, which is crazy because you have to do these mental gymnastics to go, okay, the movie starts at 7, it says 7:30, but it's actually 8 o'clock, so we have to get there at 7:55. But then there may be a long line for concessions, and it takes 20 minutes to get to the theater, and it's like it's all this anxiety of just trying um, to make it work. And I'm someone who, I know this is maybe an outlier, but before the days of picking your own seats, you would have to get there and get your own seat and put your jacket on the seat next to you, so your friend went to the bathroom and nobody took his seat. But yeah, I don't know. I like to be settled. Get the drink, get the jacket off, get everything um, all set up. But it's a pain, and it's the same commercials we've seen 100 times, and then they sprinkle in those little local ones. But yeah, 30 minutes is just insane. I'd rather pay, I don't know, $1 more to my ticket to like have like one commercial or something like that. So ads are absolutely insane. Next is the turnaround time. So when I was growing up, 90s, 2000s, you would get a movie in it would take like 6 months to, this is not confirmed, this is just off the top of my head, it would be like 5, probably like 6 months. So if you didn't see that movie, whatever it was, and you really wanted to see it, I don't know, Shrek or something, and all your friends saw it, you would have to have it spoiled for you, and you would have to be anxiously wait, and I have no patience. So you have to wait 6 months to finally get it on DVD. And now the turnaround time is like 2 months, and 2 to 3 months. And I've never done this, but you can do the video on demand for like $20, which I wouldn't do. I would just wait. But um, yeah, I mean, it doesn't make you want to go to the theater, and to it's just gonna be on streaming or whatever anyway in a couple months. And that's the thing, as an adult, you're busy, you have so many other obligations where you can't get to the theater in that first 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and then it's either spoiled online, or it's either spoiled, or at that point you're like, oh, a couple more weeks and it'll be on something. So last is my quality of the film and what's being shown. So it's kind of like broken into two categories. So the quality of the film, what I mean of that is the projector. I don't know. And again, this is a corporate issue, but the projectors don't look good compared to my 60-inch TV that I sit a couple feet away from. Unless you're in the perfect spot and the perfect seat and everything, it just seems like there's always an issue. Like I said, there's a light bulb out, or I remember when I was watching Maxine, um, the first 10 minutes like of the movie, the lights were still on, and so I had to walk. I had to walk out of the theater and like ask somebody. Of course, then you missed a couple minutes. Um, you go up to the concession stand and say, hey, like the lights are out, then they have to grab a manager or something or whatever. Um, and then they come back and then turn them off, and then you either miss that part of the movie or your experience isn't as good because, again, for the first 10 minutes or so, it's a horror movie. It's supposed to be in the dark, and yeah, so the projector, it sounds like the speakers sometimes are just like blown out, like they need to be excuse me, they need to be fixed, or I don't know, but you'll sit by one speaker on the left side or the right side, and it's not working, or it's working too loud, and then you leave the theater with your ears ringing and all that stuff. Um, but yeah, that's the if it's a regular movie, it seems like it's just a big screen. It's not like high quality, like high HD quality. So you would want to see it in IMAX or Dolby, and Dolby obviously it looks better, but and then the IMAX one is bigger, but it's kind of like fake IMAX. It's not like you go to the zoo or the aquarium or that one place where it has a real like floor to ceiling IMAX. Um, it's yeah. So and then next is like what's being shown. So what do I mean by that is that for me, like I don't have to see a comedy on the big screen, right? Like the things that lend to a big screen are really what's keeping me going to the theaters now that I don't really care about the new superhero movies or whatever, is horror and action. So it's really horror to me is keeping me interested in movie theaters because I feel like besides the big names, like for this year, it seems like I know about all the horror movies that came out, and I don't know about anything else that's not like a massive movie like Minecraft or Wicked or something like that. Um, the new comedy or the new I don't know. I know nothing about, and maybe that's because horror is my favorite genre, and I follow all these YouTubers and stuff. But it's like I heard about the Monkey, I heard about Hard Eyes, I heard about what else did I hear about? Um, yeah, so I heard about a lot of those movies, and of course you always hear about the big ones, but yeah, and that's something you want to see on the big screen. You want again with the whole experience. It sounds like somebody's, I don't know, screaming right next to you with the speaker and all that stuff, and so that's good for horror, and of course that was good for superhero movies, but the genre has just gone nosedive in the last couple of years, and again action movies too, to see something massive on the big screen. So yeah, those are all my points. Now, do you feel the same way about movie theaters as I do? And is there any hope for the experience to bounce back? And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, check me out on Instagram at MovieMagic1996. Thank you so much for everything, and go watch a movie today.